All right. And then there were four. They now have a simple task ahead of them. If they believe all of them are faithful, they can choose to end the game and split the money four ways. Of course, no traitors have been found, so they need to be very careful before stopping the game. Because if there is a traitor left, they take the entire cash prize pot. Players, this is it. The final part of the game. We are at the part where the game is solely in your hands. You may choose to stop the game now in the hopes that only faithful remain. If so, the cash prize pot of $144 will be split evenly four ways at a total of $36 per person. But if even one traitor remains when you stop it, they will receive the prize pot. Instead, or they'll the prize pot instead. Sorry. I have asked you to write out two cards. One says stop, the other says banish. If you choose stop, that means you wish to stop the game. If you choose banish, that means you would like to remove someone from this equation before the money is allocated. I will ask you one at a time to reveal whether you have chosen stop or banish and explain why. We will then vote. Again, one by one, you will reveal and explain why you have voted for someone. The player who receives the most votes, the player, I miss that. The player who receives the most votes is banished, and they will not say anything else except for goodbyes and whether they are a faithful or a traitor. Then they will leave the call. If in any round there's a tie, the players in the tie will get 2 minutes to explain why they should stay. Then a revote is done between all players where they can vote again and again for any of the players, not just the ones affected by the tie. If the tie happens a second time, all players are put on a wheel and whomever's name comes up is banished. If we go the route of banish in the first round, then we will do the same process again when there's three players, which would be $48. And if we continue down to two players, both players will reveal their identities. If both are faithful or both are traitors, they will each get $72. But if one is a faithful and one is a traitor, the traitor will receive the full $144. Before we start, are there any questions? Right. I need you to stay on mute. We are at the four players in the game. We are ready. Are we ready to stop? Or does anyone feel there might be a traitor among us? At times, this game has been about instinct, luck, strategy, chance, and fate. But tonight, you must process the entire game and factor in what's best for you to win the game and get the money. Players, please lock in your stop to stop the game or your banish to vote someone out. Hold it up to yourself. All right, I am going to ask you one at a time to reveal and explain why you've decided your option. We will start with Tara.
I'm choosing to banish because there's obviously traitors still left in the game.
Wonderful. Ron.
I'm choosing to banish because I want to see one person lose.
Jessica. Oh, Jessica.
I echo what Tara and Ron said. I am voting banished because there's obviously still a traitor left in the game, and I want to see one person lose.
Stick.
Oh my God. I'm choosing to banish because there's definitely a traitor still in the group.
Wonderful. Everybody has chosen to banish. Please, everybody stay on mute. And please write down the name of the person that you would like to banish. Please hold it up to yourself when you're ready. And it must stay on the screen. All right, we are going to be banishing somebody, so let's see who everybody has chosen. We are going to start with Ron. And Ron, when you reveal, please reveal why you are voting.
I'm voting for Jessica. And after the last round table, I really felt like I made the wrong choice of how I voted. So if I'm eliminated tonight, I can at least go out with a clear conscience that even if you're not a traitor, I didn't want to vote for one of the other two just because I think you are the traitor.
Thank you. Please mute. Jessica.
Well, obviously there's at least one traitor left in the group, and I'm voting for this person because you were on my short list from day one of who I thought Phil would have cast as a traitor, because I think you are smart and strategic and would have played an excellent traitor. And now's the time to banish you.
All right. Thank you. Please mute. We are going to go to Stick.
Okay, I'm voting this person because there's been plans put into place and I have to stick to the plan. Okay, and I'm sorry.
Okay. Please mute. And finally, Tara.
I have adored playing with you, but I could not get through this entire game and not write your name down as being suspicious. So I'm going to complete
All right.
the circle.
Thank you. Please mute. All right. Ron, you have been banished. Please say your goodbyes and please reveal whether you are a faithful or a traitor.
So I want to say thank you, Phil, for inviting me to play. And I hope that this was as fun a birthday celebration for you as it was for me to attend your creepy castle. And it makes me happy to know that you're having a great time. You're incredible and I love you. I'm happy with the way I played despite my frequent failures. I was trying to build solid arguments, but I was using mud the whole time. The lesson I learned is that I love playing these games and I still won't stop playing these games, but I really need to stop playing as if I know who to trust in and out of this game. It was a fun experience, and hopefully the next season will have better people sniffing out the bullshit. And good job to you all because I am faithful.
Thank you, Ron. And we will need you to leave the Zoom call. Right. So we are down to 3. And of course, you 3 know your roles in this game. However, the game is not done. You must stop the game. So I'm giving you the option right now to pick stop to stop the game and split the cash, or you can pick banish and we will banish another player from the game. Once you have decided, please hold up and lock it in. So again, you're putting stop or banish. All right, everybody has locked it in. Please, we're going to ask you one at a time to reveal, and please explain why you are doing that. We will start with Jessica.
I've said this all along to you, ladies. I couldn't imagine a more powerful group of ladies to take down all these faithfuls. It's been awesome, and I couldn't have done it without you. I think we made an awesome team. And I told you from the beginning, I had no desire. I have no ego around this, that I want this all for myself. I think everybody deserves it equally. So I am voting to stop and us to share the money and the glory.
Thank you. Please mute. We are going to go to Stick.
This has been a fantastic experience being super devious bitches with you guys. We did take down quite a few very good players who were trying to sniff us out. I'm going to admit right now to Tara, just so that you are aware, I did go to Jessica earlier on and suggest maybe her and I teaming and then letting the faithfuls have you as a traitor, because they needed somebody to make themselves feel better. But I am way more happy with the trio that we have here. This is epic. I'm choosing to stop.
Thank you. Please mute.
Thank you.
And finally, we are going to see what Tara has decided to do.
Well, this is really awkward. No, I'm just kidding. No, I echo everything you both said. This was amazing. I had such a good time having all our secret meetings and debating who to take out. I really wanted to be a traitor when I joined this. I thought it would be really out of character for me and something I wanted to take a shot at. And so when I initially wasn't, I was kind of bummed. But lo and behold, the recruitment brought me in and I got to try my hand at it. And I would never dream of going against the pact we made because, like you just said, of the three of us, my ass is the most on the line, and you guys came through for me. So let's take this thing home.
Wonderful. The game has officially stopped. And congratulations, I can let you know that you will each be earning $48.
Woo!
Party!
And I would
Still on
just
mute. Wahoo!
I
Turn
just
off.
want to have you guys talk about your celebration with one another about it. That would be great.
We did it!
Woohoo! Okay, I
You guys
really gotta tell
appreciate
you
my
guys.
fire?
I love it. I want to tell you guys what Ron's plan was if you're interested in knowing.
Yes, I am.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Ron's plan was if I vote Jess with him, then we will go and then vote Jess again, and we would go to the wheel. And then if neither one of us fell on the wheel, then we would then go and we would take out Tara because he knew used to were traitors. So I could have honestly tried that. Pardon?
But well, it's fair. I was just gonna say it is a big risk, but I mean, like putting like in the faithfuls position, assuming there was two of you and two traitors, like the faithfuls are in a losing position and like they have nothing to lose at that point, right? Like might as well go to the wheel, right? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. No, but I was like, okay, so that would be like a 25% shot. I would end up on the wheel and being just eliminated. And I have plans with the girls anyway, so
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Ron.
I think you'll be the one that stalks everyone. Like I think there was just this two all the way through, and I think that's gonna be the biggest sort of blindside of all is how many of them, like at what point, like how early we had the majority, right? Like
Yeah, because when I came back, I was a traitor. Oh, I want to tell you how that happened too. Okay. So I don't exactly know, and maybe Phil can clear this up. I don't know if it's because what's his name? Brady left that I'm back. I don't know if this was Phil's plan all along.
Nope.
It was your plan all along that I was, or somebody was going to be coming back. Okay.
Okay.
So, so that just puts a whole new thing on it. Okay. So It was a meeting between me and Jonathan, actually. And we ended up going on the fucking wheel. God damn it, I
Oh,
hate
random selection.
random selection.
Interesting.
And so then he asked me how I wanted to come back. And I said I wanted to come back as a faithful, but he was like, fuck you, Stick, you're going on the wheel. So then I ended up, I ended up on the wheel and I came up a traitor.
Oh, it was a real decision that she was a traitor?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
That's so
it's by chance
fun.
I'm here. And then Brady, I was like, okay, now how am I going to fucking spin this? Why am I back? When I come back, I was like, oh, what am I going to say? I was going to say that I had to complete a challenge against another player and I won my way back in. Oh, but it just like, everybody's like, oh, yay, Stick's back. Well, that's because Brady left.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
got to run with that.
that was, I think everyone's assumption. We're just like, oh, that makes sense. He couldn't keep playing, so Phil needed another number.
Another player.
Yeah.
It was not
It
the
made
fucking
perfect
case
sense.
at all,
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh my gosh, that's
Totally worked out in my favor, but
Yeah, and then there
Yeah.
was a little theory floating around, like between a few people. I mean, I think Dick, I even said it at some point with no intention of doing anything about it, of like he could have been a traitor and like you took his place, right? Like
Yeah, there was that
because we
theory.
lost one. So
right.
yeah.
I think my playing very naive and stupid through this whole thing actually saved my ass.
Yeah.
I did have a bit of a clue. I was even doing it with you guys because I thought these two are going to take me out. Thank you for not doing that.
No, it was too fun this way.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was great that like we got to that point where it was just kind of like obvious, like, oh my god, we need like one more person out and we have won the game, right? Yeah.
Well, and thankfully, I think there was like quite a few loud, chaotic people in the game that like really were the smoke and mirrors for like a really long time, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
yeah.
I had this whole speech prepared in case Ron, like, I wasn't sure how much roundtable discussion we were gonna get for this final fire pit, but I had this whole speech prepared in defense of Ron's accusations against me, which I know I put in our chat, but about this, like, he was thinking I was being too manipulative or was taking this like too logical approach, and like I do stand by my thinking in that this game it's marketed as this like big group social game where it's like traitors versus faithfuls and faithfuls versus traitors. And after watching a few seasons of the show, and really after watching Sandra on season 2 of the US one, like this light bulb went off where it was like, okay, you can play this game, like as a faithful, you can play this game two ways. But I don't, it's really hard to play it both, which is one, you can play to get to the end of the game, or two, you can play to get out traitors. But I don't think you could actually play both ways, because the people who are traitor hunters are going to have a huge target on their back as soon as they start, because they're going to be loud, they're going to get a target on their back, they're going to get people wrong, and then that's going to put the target on their back.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so, like, you just kind of gotta, like, ride the middle, not cause any big stink, get along with people, build trust, and get your ass to the end.
Yeah, you really do. It's
that's
that like the middle, like you just said, like not
Yes.
too loud and chaotic, but not too quiet, right? Which I was trying to do. But
and that's what, like, this ending is when it really matters. Phil, I wrote down a quote that you just said, because I was like, oh, that's so good, in case I need to bring that up to Ron. Where did you say? Hold on. I was like, I'm going to use that in my argument against Ron. What was it? I'll find it. It was something about, like, this is when you're actually playing the game for yourself, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. Like, this game is so skewed, and I don't mean you, Phil. I mean the game as the traitors so skewed.
Oh God, yeah. You're frozen. Oh, there you are.
It's so skewed to benefit the traders in the sense of like their traders are much harder to find because there's less of them. They have 2 opportunities to get people out versus 1. And
almost all the information.
yeah, and this game is a TV show and it's a production and they want drama. This game is structured in a way that at least like it's structured in a way that at least one trader will make it to the end, right?
Yeah.
Like if we got it, and I made this point to Ron in a message with him halfway through the game, and I said to him, like, if we got a trader out on day 1, it doesn't matter because they
Another
will
one
recruit
comes
again.
right in their
So
place.
we're no better off. So I said, why are we focused on getting traders out? Why don't we just build a solid alliance group, voting block, whatever you want to call it, and ride that to
And
the
get
end?
to the end. Yeah.
But nobody, like, I think people were nervous to play that way. And this is what I was going to say to Ron, is that, like, this was my strategy, but I didn't want to tell people, because as soon as you tell people, I don't care about if you're a trader or not, or I don't care about getting traders out, that's going to put a huge target on my back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
100%.
So if I had come back actually as a faithful Jessica, I was coming for you. I
Good
was
luck.
a trader hunter, but in hindsight, after I was voted out, I would have put the bug into other people's ears and the suspicion. And then when we came back, I told you what those suspicions were. I would have done that and then let them ride with it,
Yeah, no, totally.
hiding
Yeah.
behind them all. But yeah, so it worked out well this way.
Yeah.
Probably would have just got me voted out again, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a tough
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah,
I
when
didn't have a. Oh,
Stick
sorry, go ahead.
came when Stick came back and met with Jonathan, Stick said in her meeting with Jonathan, she said, Jessica's a traitor. So yeah, so that's
Well, I'm
like
glad you were on the right side when you came back. That was good.
Yeah, right.
Nobody else was putting my name out there. So
Nobody did ever.
No. No.
No.
I-
And
I didn't.
that day
Well,
that I
I
came
know.
back, I knew I was a traitor then, but I didn't know who the other traders were. I didn't know until after the Zoom that night who were the traders. And I think I
Gotcha.
said you were a traitor.
Yes, you did.
And then I think who else? I can't remember who else I said. Alex. I had 3
Yeah.
choices.
You
And
had
Anthony.
Alex. You said Jonathan, which I think you meant Anthony, but
I
yes.
meant Anthony. Yeah.
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 But then I was having a conversation with Tara just before the Zoom ended up going to the round table. And she was like, how many traders do you think there are? And I was like, that's a very peculiar question to ask. So anyways, I was like, okay, well, you can't say anything because if you're thinking these 2 are traders, these are your cohorts in crime. So don't say anything.
But it's so funny, like even the reasoning that you thought I was a traitor, like you could spin that, like I'm saying, like in the game you could spin anything as a reason for being a traitor or not one. And like this game just thrives on like chaos and like
Like a hive mind sometimes,
yeah,
right?
groupthink and witch hunting, like it just thrives on that, right?
Yeah.
Why this game gives me such anxiety.
But it was I do think it was I think a lot more work being on this side of it, but I do think it was easier in a regard. Like we never had to worry about being murdered.
Yeah.
Oh, but we had to lie through our teeth.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was hard.
Lied a
Not
lot.
fun.
Lied a lot. I like the tree falls down on my pool, and I was like, "There's my fucking karma."
I think the hardest thing too was talking to the people that you knew were murdered that day, like in the hours before. Like that was the hardest. Like that hurt my heart.
Part and the last, like the lead up to last round table and this one, I think were hard too, because it was like, you know, I wasn't 100% that both of you guys were on with the plan, but I was like 99% confident that you were. And just knowing that, like, oh, like Ryan P and Ron, like I'm talking to you as if there's any shot in anything happening, right? So that was tough. Yeah.
The Ryan P one was really tough for me because I had to think about this one a lot, like all day, because he was my alliance member. And I knew that he was faithful. So I had to try to swing it so I looked like a faithful and still accused him of being a traitor. And so it was just so convenient that he trusted me so much that he would just throw names out there, trusting that I was a faithful as well. And then I just threw it back in his face. And I'm so sorry, Ryan. That one was very tough.
Well, I want to say that like you guys did this very masterfully, and you should be very proud of how well you did. It was definitely if this was on TV, you would be known as like the Black Widows. Like you guys, you guys definitely
blonde assassins. I'm telling you,
the blonde assassins. I love it.
It was very fun to watch, and and just when people started to clue in late and just be like, oh wait, we figured it out like really late. But I wanted to let you guys know I asked everybody who had been eliminated at the time when they were eliminated who they thought were the traitors.
Okay.
So I asked them how many they thought there were at the time they were eliminated, who they thought they were, and who they thought was going to end up winning. They didn't know who was left after they left. Like nobody knows any on from when they went. But so Jonathan said that at the time he was murdered, he thought there was 2 traitors. And he thought they were Anthony and Jessica. And he thought that the traitors would win. I did not ask Brady. Tina said that when she was eliminated, she thought there was 2 traitors, and she thought that they were Alex and Ryan P. And thinks that the traitor would win.
Sid, were you back in and a traitor at that point?
When I was eliminated, you missed when I was eliminated. I said Jessica and Anthony.
Oh no, this was after. I asked them after. This is like not the time when at that point. This was like just a couple days ago.
Before Tina was eliminated.
Right.
Yeah.
Anthony thought there was 2 traitors when he was eliminated, Shannon and Alex. And he thought that the faithful would win. Then after Anthony was Shannon, and Shannon thought that there was 2 traitors when she was eliminated, and she said she would guess Jessica and Alex, and she would think that the traitors would win. After Shannon was Alex, I believe, and Alex said that there was 2 traitors when he was eliminated, and they were Tara and Ron, and that a traitor would win. Ryan P said, Ryan G said there was 2 when he was murdered. He thinks that they were Ron and Tara, and that the traitors would win. And then Ryan P said that that it was, oh my god, he wrote a lot. Sorry. Barely sorry, bear with me. It's coming.
That's a Ryan thing.
Yeah. He wrote a whole bunch, but I know that he thought that it was I think he said actually Jess and Tara, and he thought that it would be a traitor at that point. So I really think that was pretty good for all of you guys, that you were able to just sort of not really be detected even after people thought about it and stuff. So
well, yeah, that's a good point. Like at least like in each of those, it was like one of us. There was only a few people that were like totally wrong, but other than that, it was like not you.
Nobody said me.
Well done.
Nobody.
And nobody suspected.
Nobody
that.
Three.
Right?
Yeah. That's like I said. That's going to be the blind side. Like that's going to be the
Yeah.
shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that it started with just like
Yeah.
you know, like
Even
I think
even that caught me off guard when I came into the Zoom. I was kind of like, where's the other guy? I wasn't expecting it just to be me from the get-go, but yeah,
So you murdered Jonathan all on your own.
I did.
And then the next one you missed them, you forewent the murder so that you could bring Tara on. Is that right?
It wasn't an option for me.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Had to recruit me.
I had to recruit. Tara had no option. She had to say yes. And there was no murder, which worked out well for us, I think, because that whole shield.
There was shield confusion. Yeah.
Yeah,
both
which
times.
Does Ron suspect
Both
that?
times.
Well, yeah, he already knows now.
yeah, so well. Those no murders and the shields.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's my bone to pick with you, Phil. The whole game. I loved it all except for key lime pie.
Oh my god. So
Right.
bad.
Well, you needed Stick on there because she was talking about her carrot muffins. She could have maybe made
Here,
it
I
work.
could have brought that up. I could have started a whole chant. Key lime pie, key lime pie.
Would have been a perfect poisoner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we
no.
needed to. But it worked out, as you said. Like
It
did.
You gotta
Yeah.
feed your family. Sorry, guys.
I do think the game would have been so different though if Sticky weren't recruited.
Yeah.
I think Tara and I would have had a much harder time.
Yeah.
For
Agreed.
sure. Yeah. I think I and I said this to
Thanks.
No, it's true. And I said this to Tara when I recruited her was that I'm probably overthought it then, and I'm probably overthinking it now about the whole female male thing. But I was just like, there's no way nobody's gonna think that there's two female traitors. And so I wanted another female and that we could almost act as shields for one another. Because I wasn't confident at all during the game that both of us were gonna make it to the end. And I figured, well, if I went out, maybe that's a good shield for Tara and vice versa. So
Yeah.
but luckily, we didn't have to go that route.
Well, I covered each other very good in the Zoom calls, like when everybody was attacking Tara for being quiet, right? So it's like, we said that Alex was loud, and he wasn't fucking faithful.
This is the thing. It's about subtly finding a stronger target, right? And there were very assertive players playing this game who aren't afraid to call one another out and I know I use that to my advantage for sure, which I think is why Ron maybe caught on towards the end where it was like him and Ryan P at that final Ryan table just going after each other and the light bulb went off and he's like, this is happening to me again. And it's like, yes it is, because you get into this position every single time. And it's just like, lay lower, sit back and stop, just stop. Yeah. Love him. Love you, Ron. I know you'll likely be watching this. I love you. I had a wonderful time playing with you. And I'm sorry we needed to get rid of you, but obviously, yeah.
I love everyone. I
as
think
will
it
be
was a
everyone.
really great group, to be honest. Like,
Great.
yeah, I had a lot of fun. A good mix of people who like kind of knew each other, but kind of didn't. And
Yeah.
then some brand new people. Like there was like no real like, oh, obvious ride or die, like kind of pairs. Like, you know, I knew of Jessica and that was about it. And I knew of you, and we met at the reunion, even though you don't remember it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Drunk at the reunion, very drunk at the reunion. Oh, I think both Gina and I arrived at the reunion just completely hammed.
Oh, God. So good.
Well, I want to thank you. I'm going to wrap this up for recording. I just, again, want to congratulate you. You all did well. I will be in touch with you about getting you your winnings. And thank you for making this first season. I had a blast doing this, so I hope to do it again. And who knows, maybe we'll get to the point.
Phil.
Maybe we'll get a point for all stars and bring back you. Who knows? We'll keep this going on for years. We'll see.
It kind of feels like a game you can only play once. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I have no shot now of succeeding the next time I play, so I'll be first out.
Well,
But
thank you,
Jessica,
everybody.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you for making
viewers,
my
for
dream
watching.
come true.